Hello, and welcome to The Emerald Forest, a film by John Boorman. He made Excalibur, he made Deliverance, and Deliverance is a really great film, which gives me high hopes for this one. This film got nominated for 3 BAFTA awards, the British Oscars, and John Boorman is British, so it's a British production. It's based on a true story, so it's about Wanna know what the film is? It's about a guy which has a son, and the son is abducted in the rainforest, and he's looking for him. And seeing the cover, I know already that he lives. That he finds him. Or that he's still alive, at least. So I'm not a fan of the cover. It gives too much away. But okay, good. It is how it is. Yeah. Alright. 2 hours from 1985. Yes. Something else? I guess not. Let's jump right into it, shall we? Let's rock! This film was made in the rainforest of the Amazon and is based on real events and actual characters. John Boorman's The Emerald Forest. That looked nice. And this shot in general, very aesthetic already, and I like that a lot. Okay, I assume that's the boy.
Tomme, is it safe?
You just stay where I can see, okay?
Safe for what?
Snakes here?
Ah, snakes, okay. Right next. Oh, he sees them, okay.
Daddy, there's people in there.
Okay, big boy, let's go have a look. I don't see anybody. Tomme, come on, quit fooling around. Let's go.
They took him already?
Get some help! They've taken Tomme! They've taken Tomme! Just get some help!
But why they took him? And that arrow was just a warning, I guess. Because if they would intend to kill him, they already did. Bill Markham spent all his spare time searching the rainforest for Tomme. After 10 years, the dam he had come to build was nearing completion. His son was still missing. Yeah, maybe it has something to do with them destroying their homelands, and then they took the son as a hostage, or I don't know. I don't know why exactly they did it.
He's saying something about being not seen.
Yes, they say it's an arrow of the invisible people.
But if they're invisible, how they intend to find them then? I think that's him. I think that's the boy. Yeah, it's him. So they are searching for years now. Wow. The fierce people.
Kinda bange. Ubange, Mushi, Marana Atai, Gahume Gabam.
Calls him father now. I think they are very badass when it comes to fighting, because they are invisible, just like Rambo, hiding somewhere, and then when the time is right, snap. Oh my god, it's a stick, so he must be here.
I was beginning to lose faith in you.
We'll camp here.
If he was abducted by the fierce people, then it would be way easier to find him. Now he's a junkie also. Now the father sees the eagle. Look, an eagle! So he must be here somewhere. What is when they run out of stones? Then they are not the invisible people anymore. What are they doing? Maybe that was the plan. Now they found at least someone. But these are visible. So that's the wrong people. The fierce people, I guess. Okay. Pretty unrealistic, I have to say. And the bullet is even still intact. Let's say, okay, that is a bullet, which is not meant to penetrate. It would spread. So I don't know. Another nice shot. I think now he finds his son by accident. There's the waterfall. And there he is. He shoots at him. Huh. The first thing he does when he fights him, shoot at him. Oh man. Does he recognize him? He's not. now. What? Why did he pull it out right away? Now he's bleeding while running away. That's no good. That fierce people are really bad hunters. They really suck at it. These are like stormtroopers.
Hunu Puvane, Gega Dibu.
Bavane.
Do, Guadate, Guadapide, Japtab.
So he doesn't realize that he's his real father. He thinks he's just a person who appears in his dreams. Huh. I mean, he was pretty young.
Stade, the Guadi be dead. Haftongo among the bede arms.
Guadanebas pain vej. Dabe there's not by me hand.
Also, trouble is not far away when you abduct a little child.
Guadenat. Tesh! Pav Jagne, Efa Pavia, Udavo.
Goje Vanta, Jurain, Kina.
He's still dying. You see? He's a great healer.
Nan tabao. Aqua Jadeganta e Javaquan.
The Edge of the World. That reminds me of a film about a tribe in Africa.
Bad. Hakanet, Anu Jet Gopag, Nunanen Quan.
Why wake him then in my bed?
Mayosho Gabi Takwan, Anko Banta Dumunta,
And destroyed it.
Ad Shonembab, Shantai Debesh.
Very shaky image. So the premise of the film now is like, for the father to get the son back, but it seems like the son has already a new life which he seems to like, and interesting to see how it turns out now. Because it's very, very hard for the father now.
I have Gabi no nengo mankande. Tomme quando nuka bom.
Cos pronta. Reigi vendem clembadas. Para 10 gobado.
Soon enough, and he's father himself.
Dengam nukada kambe nufejenel. Gayaju.
Think it's a good idea. Just tell him, just visit. Come with me for a while, then you see, and then you decide. I can see that happening. But I think, if it turns out that way, that he's choosing this way of life. Just a guess. Just a guess. That is what he knows all his life. And he was too young. He doesn't even remember that this is his dad. His real father. 10 years. And does he even speak English? I mean, I'm pretty sure when he hears it, he would understand. But if I were the father, I would have already spoken in his mother tongue, in his mother language, just so he remembers. And that look he gave says it all. Ah, okay. The edge of the world. Now I understand what he means. I thought he meant the ocean. The fierce people, maybe? Burning their home? Wow. Oh, I think that means that they're going to war. So Tomme is fighting with them. And they have their women. So, okay, now they definitely fight the fierce people. And another edge. Ah, the river, because of the dam. They finished it, yeah. Uh-oh, no. But if you touch the power line without touching the ground, then you should be fine. Or am I wrong? Or two lines at the same. Yeah. Or that. So they were trading the women for bullets. I mean, okay, he's asking his father for help, which he probably will do, because it's his son. And then he helps him. But what then? I mean, the thing is, most of his people died. Now their tribe is only a handful of people. I mean, this is based on real events, and then this. Now he knows, or what? So far, this film is great, but has some few flaws. I've noted. I will talk later in the review about. I will talk about it later in the review. So. So which floor he lives in? Oh, very high. At the top, of course. Where else? First time she sees him. They don't hear it.
Fish! Nappy!
Now get rid of the disgusting clothes.
Then the quan and anta Moses. And like what I was.
Quail the fishing bed.
Thy ween, Tomme. Thy ween Vanjo.
The father is right. So I guess the son has to learn the hard way. But I don't think they will show us what happens afterward, or like in text. I don't know when this actually happened, but my guess is a few years before the film was made. I don't know what to think about this stuff. I mean, it's a true story, and they're doing some fantasy in it. So what now? It's so much water that it breaks the dam. Ah, okay. I see. He's making sure the dam breaks, so his son can live there. And now he thinks he has done it with his magic and stuff. So it wasn't even him. Breaks naturally. Or was it him? I don't know. I mean, he pushed a button, but it didn't work, I think, and it broke naturally. The rainforests of the Amazon are disappearing at the rate of 5,000 acres per day. 4 million Indians once lived there. 120,000 remain. Few tribes have never had contact with the outside world. They still know what we have forgotten. And this was 85. And that's not true anymore, I think. Alright. The end. Okay. Then let's get on with the review. So, the review. Alright, that was it. That was The Emerald Force, 1985. Yeah, overall, it was a good film. It had some flaws. But it was a good time. I had a good time watching. The best part for me was the middle part, where he found his son, and the interaction between him and his son and the other tribes member that for me was the best part, and I wish this would have been longer or expanded. But yeah, the overall feel was very great. All the shots, the cinematography, the overall the imagery was on point for me. This was very great. But the story to the end, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the end, I have to say. And I'm not sure if he broke the dam or it broke naturally. He pushed a button, but I think the button didn't work and the dam broke naturally. So all this stuff, this ritual stuff, was actually doing something, and that's what was bugging me a little, because it's based on a true story, and this was too much fantasy, to put it that way. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm okay with the end. It wasn't a bad ending. It was okay, and the film was good in general. Yeah, but like I said, the middle part was the best part. I really enjoyed that, and I wish it had been longer. This part. The film was 2 hours, and it was a good length overall. A little longer would be too long. A little shorter would be too short, I think. Yeah. The length was good. Yeah, John Boorman. Boorman or whatever. So, John Boorman. He did Deliverance. Deliverance was very great. And Excalibur I've seen from John Boorman, which was also good, but was a completely different genre, like pure fantasy. Yeah, and that's all I've seen from him. Oh yeah, and the son, Tomme, was played by the real life son of the director, Charley Boorman. And that's very interesting. Okay, all right. I think that was it. Again, I have nothing but to say. Again, and I would say, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.